It's Cirque du Old Lady welcoming you to the Turbulent Flow podcast, blog, vlog. I'm gonna stop pretending that I know what to call these things these days. It's been a little while since I checked in, mostly because I am just swamped with work right now. It got a little overwhelming for a bit, but I'm managing. I own my own business, so I know better than to complain about having too much work. It's pretty great, because I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the day, I really enjoy the engineering work that I do, and I feel it really does make a difference. So I'm not going to complain about it, but it has been stressing me out just a little bit. So I haven't been working out nearly as much as I would like to be. I haven't been as patient with my family as I would like to be. I just, I haven't been the person that I would like to be. But don't we all have that problem? So I'm going to check my notes, because the whole reason why I wanted to make sure that I recorded something today was because today is a very strange anniversary for me. Today is basically, so the funny story was that on this day in 2013, so on April the 23rd, 2013, I started something that had been listed, it was like a magazine article type post that was on the internet. It was like a 21-day transformation workout challenge. So 13 years ago, I started my 21-day transformation workout challenge. I was gonna get in shape. I was gonna, it had, some running. I think it had some, it had some body weight workouts to it. Because, like so many people, it was spring and I was feeling out of shape, and I really wasn't super thrilled with my body at the time. So I was like, oh, well, 3 weeks, and it's going to transform me. And so I started it, and I did it. And to no one's surprise, it did not transform me. I was not transformed in 3 weeks. I was a little more fit. I was, after 3 weeks, it was a pretty heavy workout schedule that was, on this website article that I had just sort of picked up. So unsurprisingly, yeah, I was a little stronger. I was feeling a little more fit. I kind of joked. I was, when I was doing it, I actually, I posted on Facebook at the time. I was like, I'm doing a 21-day transformation workout. I can't wait to find out what I'm going to transform into. I was like, am I going to be a butterfly? Am I going to transform into a chicken? I have no idea. Am I going to turn into a robot? I don't know. Turns out I transformed into a slightly more fit version of myself. The thing, though, that makes today, kind of worth noting, as I said, is that was 13 years ago. 13 years ago, let's see if I can count, I was in my early 40s. I had not started taking circus lessons. I was in my early 40s, and like so many people, I was not feeling very happy with my body and that aspect of my life. So I did the math. 4,749 days ago. So 4,000. So I'm now on day 4,749 of my 21-day workout transformation project. And it turns out that after 4,749 days, I still have not turned into anything other than myself. But along the way, I didn't stick with that very heavy workout. Instead, I found a workout option that was fun for me. You know, circus arts is certainly not everybody's idea of a good time, but it's something that's you know that I really enjoy, and I have really enjoyed it. And taking classes and finding out what my body could do in terms of like aerial tricks and performance has given me the motivation to want to do the less exciting workouts, you know, because in order to be strong enough to hang from the ceiling or flip upside down or do all the various things that we do in circus arts, you need to have strong joints, you need to have strong muscles, you know, you need to have body coordination. And so that requires pretty much constant conditioning of the body, you know, sit-ups and push-ups and, you know, doing things with weights and squats and fun things like that, you know, pull-ups, you know, these things aren't exciting, but when there's a reason for them. And for me anyways, that reason needed to be a whole lot more than just what my body was going to look like. So it, for me anyways, 4,749 days ago, that was the switch that I needed. You know, it got me sort of kicked off, but then after that, the 21 days were done, I was like, okay, well, this was a little intense for 21 days. So maybe if I want to keep this going, I should probably find something that's a little more practical, a little more doable, a little more maintainable. And that's what I've been doing for the last, 13 years now, is focusing on, one, finding ways of moving my body that I actually enjoy. That has been the absolute big one for me. And for me, that came with the fact that it gave me an artistic outlet. It gave me a way to express myself, and along the way, yes, I did pick up some muscles and some strength. And, physically that does, it feels good to, put on a tank top and, have actual biceps. So I'm not going to lie. That part's pretty nice too. But it's about the strength. It's about, what I physically can do that feels the most good, and knowing that I've found a way that feels very maintainable to me, and looking for that all along the way has made such a difference, because getting strong like that, and really focusing on sort of thinking of my body as an actual sort of biomachine that is going to break down and is going to need maintenance and is going to need attention, and that, I'm going to have to find different things, and some years some things are going to work better than others, because life actually, is always going to throw bumps in the road. I think that's the thing that I kind of, made this whole breast cancer experience just a little less horrific. There was lots of it that was freaking hard. I'm not gonna lie, especially this both times around. But knowing that I have had a body I wasn't happy with, and that with work, slowly plugging away, that I could get it to a place where I was feeling good about it, and focusing on what it could do and what I wanted it to be able to do. That for me has been the big thing. And so that's why I just wanted to come on here today and just babble just a little bit about the fact that, yes, day 4,749 of my 21-day transformation anniversary. I like to celebrate it once a year, and this is year 13. Year 13, the year that we're, recovering from our second breast cancer surgery. And, hey, my body has changed in many, many ways. It's now missing some literal body parts. I think I've talked about this before, but, yeah, I've got, a physique that's, pretty strong right now. I'm pretty happy about that, but I'm really nervous about coming into sort of spring and summer, where, tank tops and t-shirts, and it's going to be a lot more obvious that I don't have any breasts. So I'm thankful that I'm not, dealing with disliking my body to begin with. That I'm pretty happy with the state that it's in. It's feeling pretty strong, because that's good, because I think I'm gonna need it over the next month or two, as all these hoodies and sweaters start to come off out in public. It's gonna be a bit of a ride, and I'm gonna try and be really honest about how I feel about it, because I'd like to see day 4,749 turn into days 4,750, 51, 52, and just keep going, because that means I'm here. And that's the most important part. So, like I said, very very interesting day for me, that I just kind of celebrate in my own head every once a year on this particular day. So I just wanted to mark it a little bit and do it by sharing my little mini celebration with whoever's out here in internet land. All right, so thank you very much. I hope you're having a good day and a good week, and I hope the sun is shining where you are, because it finally came out around here. Bye.